I want to say something about when we as women stay with these men that are not good for us, such as Dania Jackson. Well, I'm not speaking for her. I don't know her. I haven't heard her speak on the things I'm about to say. But I listen to a lot of women say they stayed in a relationship, and everybody keeps saying, oh, but why? But why would you stay? It sounds terrible, but why would you stay? First of all, the men that get women to stay, we know some of them use fear tactics to scare the women into staying. And so they stay because they're terrified if they leave, what will happen to them and their children. And it's a very real concern. But another reason women stay that everyone overlooks is loneliness. Especially as a brown woman, it gets really, really lonely because brown women don't bond that easily. A lot of women that have friends, they've been friends for so many years. They're not new friends. And so we have a hard time bonding. And so it's when you find somebody that gets along with you even a little bit, you might tend to hold on to that person because you're otherwise going to be all by yourself. At least that's what your mind tells you. It may not be true. A lot of us don't want to be alone. We don't. So we go ahead and say, all right, I'll take it. I'll deal with whatever he's doing because I don't want to be by myself anymore. And we don't have those conversations in our heads. But inside of our bodies, we go, no, I'm not going back to loneliness. No way. No, sir. I was by myself. Nobody would talk to me. And at least, we talk sometimes, right? These women find some kind of common ground at times. And that common ground seems to be worth all the mistreatment because they stay. Their self-esteem is raised up because they're with somebody. How many times does a single woman get ridiculed for being single? Let's think about that. So often. You don't have anybody yet? Why? And then on top of that, I want to talk a little bit about what it means to be a wife. In this society, I'm not sure if other women experience this, but brown women, when we get married, we literally get an elevation in our status. Somebody's going to say, that's a lie. What do you mean? I never heard of that. I'm telling you, as a brown woman, when you say I'm married, you enter into a different category. It's like you walk through another door and people look at you differently. Oh, she's somebody's wife. You can participate in certain conversations in public simply because you're somebody's wife. You get more honor and respect put on you. And that's my understanding of it. That's what I've observed. Married women tend to get more highly regarded because they're married to a man. And so when the thought of giving that up, when you think about why did she stay, she's going to give up that status of I'm somebody's wife. And she wasn't ready to give it up. So those are some of the reasons why women decide to stay as opposed to leaving. You literally are seen when you're married. You literally are seen. Literally from unseen to seen when you get married. And a lot of people don't understand that. That kind of like all of a sudden you're a real person because you're Mrs. So-and-so. Everywhere you go, all you have to say is my husband and the door slides open. It's like, come in. Really. And so that's another reason why a lot of women are like, no, I'm staying married because he's not that great, but I'd rather my life the way it is than what it will be or was before I got married. Or she's imagining what it will be like and she doesn't want to have that empty life. You are validated as a married black woman. It doesn't matter if he's cheating. Nobody else knows that but you and the women. And it's something that I don't know if men know this, but I don't even know if all single women know this, but I'm telling you, When you're married, you have a different quality of life. Simply because somebody loved you enough to marry you, it means something. It means something. And so Danae is not leaving. She's not leaving the money that he was making. She's not leaving the validation. She's not leaving the relationship because there's something in it for her. All right. And oftentimes women don't want to leave because they're connected to a lifestyle. They have a friend circle that's connected to the man's, situation. And so they don't want to leave. They have to give up their whole entire life if they leave that man. And so they tolerate the mistreatment and they stay. I don't know what her reason was for staying, but I do know what I just said, that they stay because they're not giving up that relationship. And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real problem. We don't respect single black women. For some reason, we just don't. We're like, oh, please. And so some of us stay in these terrible marriages because we know if we step outside, we're going back to the wolves. We're going back to being treated like a nobody. And you know what? You have to flick your hair a whole lot and be perfect to get that respect without a ring on your finger. Oh, yes, you do.